Whether you realize it or not, fermentation is a process that's used to produce some of the world's favorite foods and beverages. What are some foods that are fermented? Popular fermented foods include things like wine, beer, yogurt, certain aged cheeses, and even chocolate and coffee. One of the most popular fermented foods globally is yogurt, which has been consumed in certain parts of the world for thousands of years, along with closely related kefir. Trust me, this video is very amazing for your gut health. Now let's start this eye-opening video. You all keep me with at the end of video. Hopefully you will learn a lot of new things. Studies suggest that some of the many ways these foods support overall health include by improving digestion and cognitive function, boosting immunity, helping treat irritable bowel disease, providing minerals that build bone density, helping fight allergies, killing harmful yeast and microbes. Top 15 fermented foods. Below is a list of some of the best fermented foods to include in your diet. 1. Kefir. Kefir is a fermented milk product, made from cow, goat, or sheep's milk, that tastes like a drinkable yogurt. Kefir benefits include providing high levels of vitamin B12, calcium, magnesium, vitamin K2, biotin, folate, enzymes and probiotics. Kefir has been consumed for well over 3,000 years. The term kefir was started in Russia and Turkey and means feeling good. 2. Kombucha. Kombucha is a fermented drink made of black tea and sugar, from various sources like cane sugar, fruit or honey. It contains a colony of bacteria and yeast that is responsible for initiating the fermentation process once combined with sugar. Do fermented foods like kombucha contain alcohol? Kombucha has trace amounts of alcohol but too little to cause intoxication or even to be noticeable. Other fermented foods, such as yogurt or fermented veggies, typically do not have any alcohol at all. 3. Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is one of the oldest traditional foods, with very long roots in German, Russian and Chinese cuisine, dating back 2,000 years or more. Sauerkraut means sour cabbage in German, although the Germans weren't actually the first to make sauerkraut. Made from fermented green or red cabbage, sauerkraut is high in fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K and B vitamins. It's also a great source of iron, copper, calcium, sodium, manganese and magnesium. Is store-bought sauerkraut fermented? Not always, especially the canned/processed kind. Real, traditional, fermented sauerkraut needs to be refrigerated, is usually stored in glass jars and says that it is fermented on the package/label. 4. Pickles. Didn't think that pickles had probiotics? Fermented pickles contain a ton of vitamins and minerals, plus antioxidants and gut-friendly probiotic bacteria. Are store-bought pickles fermented? Not usually. Most store-bought pickles are made with vinegar and cucumbers, and although this makes the pickles taste sour, this doesn't lead to natural fermentation. Fermented pickles should be made with cucumbers and brine, salt plus water. What is the best brand of pickles if you want probiotics? When choosing a jar of pickles, look for lactic acid fermented pickles, made by a manufacturer that uses organic products and brine, refrigerates the pickles, and states that the pickles have been fermented. If you can find a local maker, such as at a farmer's market, you'll get some of the best probiotics for your health. 5. Miso. Miso is created by fermenting soybeans, barley, or brown rice with koji, a type of fungus. It's a traditional Japanese ingredient in recipes including miso soup. It's been a staple in Chinese and Japanese diets for approximately 2,500 years. 6. Tempeh. Another beneficial fermented food made with soybeans is tempeh, a product that is created by combining soybeans with a tempeh starter, which is a mix of live mold. When it sits for a day or two, this results in becoming a dense, cake-like product that contains both probiotics and a hefty dose of protein too. Tempeh is similar to tofu but not as spongy and more grainy. 7. Natto. Natto is a popular food in Japan consisting of fermented soybeans. It is sometimes even eaten for breakfast in Japan and commonly combined with soy sauce, Karashi mustard, and Japanese bunching onion. After fermentation it develops a strong smell, deep flavor and sticky, slimy texture that not everyone who is new to natto appreciates. 8. Kimchi. Kimchi is a traditional fermented Korean dish that is made from vegetables, including cabbage, plus spices like ginger, garlic, pepper and other seasoning. It's often added to Korean recipes like rice bowls, ramen or bibimbap. It's considered a Korean delicacy that dates back to the 7th century. 9. Raw cheese. Raw milk cheeses are made with milk that hasn't been pasteurized. Goat milk, sheep milk and A2 cow's soft cheeses are particularly high in probiotics, including Thermophilus, bifidus, bulgaricus and acidophilus. In order to find real fermented/aged cheeses, read the ingredient label and look for cheese that has not been pasteurized. The label should indicate that the cheese is raw and has been aged for 6 months or more. 10. Yogurt. Is fermented milk the same as yogurt? Essentially, yes. Yogurt and kefir are unique dairy products because they are highly available and some of the top probiotic foods that many people eat regularly. Probiotic yogurt is now the most consumed fermented dairy product in the United States and many other industrialized nations too. It's recommended when buying yogurt to look for 3 things. It comes from goat or sheep milk if you have trouble digesting cow's milk. It's made from the milk of animals that have been grass-fed. It's organic. 11. Apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar that is raw and contains the mother is fermented and does contain some probiotics. It also contains certain types of acids like acetic acid, which supports the function of probiotics and prebiotics in your gut. However, most vinegars available in the supermarket do not contain probiotics. You can add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to a drink twice a day. Before breakfast and lunch or breakfast and dinner, add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in your meal, and then start consuming more fermented vegetables like sauerkraut and kimchi or drinking kvass to really boost probiotic levels. 12. Kvass. Kvass is a traditional fermented beverage that has a similar taste to beer. Much like kombucha, it goes through a fermentation process and contains probiotics. It's made from stale, sourdough rye bread and is considered a non-alcoholic beverage because it contains only around 0.5% to 1% alcohol. The longer it ferments, the more susceptible it is to becoming more alcoholic. If you've never tasted kvass, it has a tangy, earthy, salty flavor and can be an acquired taste. Sometimes it is brewed with flavors from fruits, such as raisins and strawberries, and herbs, such as mint, to make it more appealing. 13. Sourdough bread. Certain traditionally made breads, such as real sourdough bread, are fermented, but they don't contain probiotics. Fermentation helps make nutrients found in the grains more available for absorption and reduces anti-nutrient content that may make digestion difficult. 14. Cottage cheese. Because more research is confirming that probiotics are highly beneficial, food manufacturers are beginning to make probiotic dairy products such as cottage cheese more readily available. Similar to yogurt, cottage cheese can be fermented when bacteria help break down the lactose, a type of sugar, in the dairy. When purchasing cottage cheese, look for brands that are low in sugar and that contain active cultures. Some types are also called dry curd cottage cheese or farmer's cheese. 15. Coconut kefir. For those who can't tolerate dairy, coconut kefir is a great alternative. This probiotic-rich drink is made with creamy coconut milk and kefir grains, but unlike regular kefir or yogurt, it's dairy-free and vegan-friendly. Try it in smoothies, in baked goods, with fruit, on its own, etc. Just opt for brands that are low in sugar or unflavored, and consider adding your own stevia, fruit or honey for extra flavor. Conclusion. Fermented foods are those that are left to sit and steep until the sugars and carbs that the food naturally contains interact with bacteria, yeast, and microbes. This changes the chemical structure of the food and results in the creation of healthy probiotics. What foods are fermented? Some of the most widely available include kombucha, yogurt, aged/raw cheeses, sauerkraut, pickles, miso, tempeh, natto and kimchi. Other healthy foods that are fermented include apple cider vinegar, wine, sourdough bread, cottage cheese and coconut kefir. These foods naturally provide us with probiotics, beneficial bacteria that mostly live within our gut/digestive systems. Health benefits of fermented foods and probiotics include improving digestion/gut health, boosting immunity, helping treat GI issues like irritable bowel disease, providing minerals that build bone density, helping fight allergies, supporting heart and metabolic health, and killing harmful yeast and microbes that cause issues like candida.